This video is for you if you've hit that strange hollow place where you don't even know what you want anymore. Like you're not miserable every second, but you're also not lit up either. You know something needs to shift, but every option either feels too big, too unclear, or just not right. So if that's you, then just stay with me because you're not alone in this, and what you're feeling makes so much sense. Look, I remember when I first hit that point myself. I was deep in my nursing career doing everything right on paper, so it seemed. Good job, respected, competent, reliable, blah, 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 and I felt like a stranger in my own body at that time. People would ask, what do you really want, James? And sometimes I would just blank. Like, want felt like a luxury sometimes. Something people with time and energy got to think about. I really wasn't in touch with my own sense of desire. And I was just trying to make it to the end of each shift, the end of each day, the end of each week without completely shutting down. And that's really what burnout does, not just to your energy levels, but to your sense of self. So when we spend so long serving, fixing, doing, performing, especially in roles like nursing, we learn to quiet the parts of us that have needs and preferences, that have dreams. So, burnout, it's not just exhaustion, it's disconnection, from your body, from your truth, your inner voice, your sense of self. And here's a piece that a lot of people miss, I think. You can't just figure your way into clarity when your nervous system feels unsafe, because your brain isn't designed for vision and creativity when it's in survival mode. It's scanning for threats, it's protecting, it's not dreaming. So if you're sitting there wondering why journaling or vision boards or self-help podcasts, which I love those things, but why they aren't helping you feel clear, that's probably why. So we don't access clarity from the neck up, in my opinion. We access it from the body down. And when we feel grounded enough to trust ourselves again, that's where it can come from. And for most of the people I work with, nurses, healers, helpers, it really isn't a logic issue. It's a safety issue. It's a permission issue. Because the real sense of desire, the one buried deep beneath the I don't know, is really, it can be terrifying. It might mean rest, or it might mean change. It might mean disappointing someone. It might mean walking away from the identity you've clung to for years, and that's why most people stay stuck. Not because they don't want change, but because change feels unsafe, So in my coaching, we don't always start with what's your big dream, sometimes, but not with everyone. Instead we might start with this. What would it feel like to be honest with yourself again? To soften the grip, to hear that quiet whisper that says, I want something else. Sometimes that whisper says, I want more peace for myself. I want to stop pretending. I want to stop wearing a mask. I want to feel excited again. I want to enjoy the things that I used to enjoy with the people that I love and care for. I want to remember who I was before I started shrinking and giving myself away. And that's really where the healing starts. It's typically not a master plan, but it starts with permission to listen to others, to yourself, most importantly. Because clarity doesn't come when we force it. It comes when we feel safe enough within ourselves to want again. You know, like, think like a tree in the winter. You don't need to panic because all the leaves are gone. There's wisdom in that sense of stillness, right? And when the season shifts, you too will bloom as well, like the tree does. So, if this rambling has landed for you, if you're done feeling like a ghost in your own life, then just DM me the word stories and I'll reach out to you from there. Carry on a convo and, see if exploring how I might be able to help you with reconnecting with yourself and rediscovering that voice of desire, how that can look. And so, yeah, this is the work I do with my one-on-one coaching clients. We don't just set goals, we rebuild the inner safety and self-trust it takes to know what you truly want again. And when the clarity returns, it really does change everything. So, last few words here. I just want you to know you're not broken, you're not lost. You're just in that in-between space, and there is a way to get through that gently, honestly, and together. Thanks for watching.